This is my fourth review, and it is of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Caught it in the movie theater the other day. They're doing a revival, and just watched it again on a smaller screen. That one. Stars Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Juliette Lewis, Johnny Galecki, Randy Quaid, and even Bill Murray's brother, among many others. The National Lampoon's movies, the Vacation series, I know National Lampoon's Vacation, and then National Lampoon's European Vacation, and then National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I'm not sure if they made any more, but I know this is the Chevy Chase trilogy. He has the same wife in all the movies. I haven't seen the first two in some time. I'm pretty positive that the kids kind of changed throughout, but also in terms of how well the movies are made, I feel like Christmas Vacation, as far as my memory can recall, is the one to watch the most. There's a lot of slapstick gags in the movie. There was one moment when I was watching it where I was like, I could turn the movie black and white, and I would basically almost have like a Three Stooges vibe if you put it like next to one of those older movies. That's during the I mean, the whole movie's got the slapstick bits. I mean, obviously in the modern era, the 80s, 90s, it has the adult humor, the swimsuit girl, and the cussing, and the darker insanity elements when he's going a little loopy, where he is bordering on a horror movie with the chainsaw. It's got everything in it. I'm not sure exactly who the director was on this. Like I said, I saw John Hughes' name on there. It had that Planes, Trains, and Automobiles feel, that Ferris Bueller feel, that Breakfast Club feel, but also that Saturday Night Live and National Lampoon's and Chevy Chase feel. So it's kind of got one of those movies that's got everything, kind of like The Family. It's got all the family members, young and old, and it's tugs at your heartstrings in the right ways. Not too much, not as much as some of those other movies, but it's always entertaining, and just goes from one scene to the other, and has that Christmas feel. One of the greater moments in the movie, I mean, I guess I'm spoiling stuff. I can always edit this out. I might not even put this in the edit. If I do, I might edit this little bit out where I'm talking. I might not. But they lose their Christmas tree. There's some issues with flammables. And then he has to pat down one of the older relatives so he doesn't like light up in flames. But so they're on the quest for a new Christmas tree. They go outside, and he winds up cutting one of the large ones in the yard, putting it back in the house. And I think it's one of the most memorable sequences that probably a lot of people remember. Is there's some noise coming from the tree, squeaking sound. One of the older aunts keeps asking, "Do you hear that sound? Do you hear that sound?" It's a ee. And then you're like, what is it? And then kind of the camera zooms into the tree, and then a squirrel pops out because they cut down his house. So all of a sudden, chase sequence ensues. Chevy Chase at his best. The whole family behind him must get that squirrel. Just to like name one of my favorite jokes upon this viewing, I noticed like when the SWAT team bombards the house because his boss's wife calls them up and tells them the big ogre-ish, oafish brute of a man has just taken my husband on Christmas. So they all crash through the house, and for some reason the neighbor's house too. They bust through the windows on ropes and swings, and then they invade the house while they're singing Silent Night or something. But then they're like, "Oh, it's okay now. You know, the boss has forgiven him." And then they're like, "Well, he was going to stiff them on their bonus checks." And then this African American cop, this big guy, he's like one of the guys in charge. He's like, Man, if I had a rubber hose, I would beat you till next Sunday. Something like that. I don't know. To me, it was just especially funny this time around. My review of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's hilarious. If you're in a bad mood, watch it. If you think that it won't cheer you up, you're wrong. Hopefully, this movie is there's a younger generation picks up on it, because I think it's probably in the top 10 great Christmas movies ever made. Especially if you're leaning towards the more humorous ones. I couldn't necessarily recall the other 9 off the top of my head, but that could be my homework for the future sometime. But until next time, this is Nicholas on Film.